Au départ du rallye du Pays de Galles en WRC 2. Alors Kalle Rovanperä, 6 victoires de plus en 2022, 6 victories in 2022. Mais il lui reste du chemin. You have some race à parcourir encore pour parvenir au palmarès d'un Sébastien Lube ou d'un Sébastien Ogier. 3e saison. It's your 3rd season at the hell level.
Yeah, it's now getting a bit more confident for me, and of course more experience. So it's always a bit easier, but this season is going to be tight. So let's see what happens.
Vous l'avez compris, Kalle Rovanperä n'est pas venu pour faire de la figuration. Merci Kalle. Have a nice race.
And there we go. Kalle Rovanperä steps into the car that still is numbered 69 as he drives across that ramp or down that ramp. Rally Monte Carlo is officially started for 2023. Julian, when that flag raised, game is on.
Yeah, game is on. Jonny Haltonen just out the car making sure that the time is correct, that he doesn't want to leave, because this is, as you said, the actual start of the rally. So you can just see in the background over the side of the car, Jonny Haltonen just handing the time card in. That's why we had that long, elongated interview with him. But, I mean, yeah, the jeopardy heading out in there in the dark and everything, I think it's brilliant. But the best thing about this car just got even sexier this year because they removed the air scoops off the side. It's something I just was struggling with all last year. That's the biggest thing on that car that they're now missing. That car now is just super slick. No side scoops on it. Just a hole in there with a bit of gauze on it. It looks beautiful.
Well, I was having a conversation with somebody last night because we also had a bit of a launch here last night of the drivers, and somebody said to me about the aero on the car, and I went, "You sound like Julian Porter."
I mean, these cars are fantastic, you know, but there's just some nice couple of little things. Hyundai got a few new little bits on their car. Toyota got some bits on their car.
Let's talk about the livery on M Sport because I know
M Sport got the livery, haven't they? They've got the livery on their car. That's fantastic. Brand new car. This is absolutely brand new. Rich Milner telling us the other day that they're giving Oit the best opportunity. Brand new car for him. They've built him one. They mean business. Malcolm said to us last night that only going to run 2 cars. You can run 3. They'll run 3 on some rallies it'll be 2 to maximise Oit Tanak's chance of becoming Drivers' World Champion. They're kind of sacrificing the team.
Yeah.
It's all about Oit Tanak becoming Drivers' World Champion.
And the thing is, with that, obviously you've got Pierre-Louis Lube, but in that scenario, he's going to learn so much.
The best school he can ever go to, you know.
Loving this projection up there.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, as Ben said, they put on a real big show. It's great. Just look at the people up there. It's fantastic. And yeah, we're outside the most famous casino in the world. And tonight, the gamble is not as big as what potentially it could have been. You know, sometimes it's a massive lottery.
What are we talking about with the weather conditions? Because
it's clear. All I've heard is it's clear. It is cold, but there's not been any dampness today, so it should be as easy as it can be.
Okay. For
a nighttime, 2 nighttime stages in Monte. I don't think there's really any ice around. There might be the odd bit of frost the later we get into like stage 2, but I'm believing it's as clean as what they could have expected. Esa-Pekka Lappi's words was, it's a lot simpler than what we thought it was going to be.
Nice. Well, a perfect way to start. Okay, Oit Tanak is out the car. Let's hear how's he feeling.
3 équipes en WRC, 2 équipes chez Toyota, 3 chez Hyundai, retour chez le M Sport Ford pour cette année, à bord de la Ford Puma Rally, avec l'année dernière, on s'en souvient, hein, une sortie de route qui fut pas très grave, mais qui a probablement d'ailleurs coûté de nombreuses places. Et notamment l'abandon de...
All right, well, Oit back in the car now. And once again, when that flag raises, that is the start for Oit Tanak of his 2023 season back in his former team of M Sport. The lights that glisten in the distance there, the crowds. It doesn't matter where you are, what country you are, where you are in the world, there is always an Estonian flag in the background.
Yeah, I think there's genuine excitement. You saw social media just explode when M Sport and Ford made this announcement that Oit, in theory, was coming home. I mean, if he could deliver a world championship, a drivers' championship for Malcolm Wilson M Sport, that would just be kind of like the best present Malcolm could ever have, because he invested so much into Oit in his early years, and there was a lot of heartache, there was some sackings, there was some bringing backs and things like that. So it is a real father-son kind of relationship.
Can the dreams become a realization? All right, Thierry out, a fan pleaser for sure. Let's hear if he has something to say.
Avec Thierry. Alors, Thierry, dans quel état d'esprit on est ce soir en partant ici depuis Monaco pour s'élancer?
On est toujours un peu stressé avant un départ d'un Monte Carlo, même si il semblerait que les conditions sont quand même assez stables, que ce soit au niveau de météo ou conditions de route. Mais il y a quand même des vraies spécialités qui nous attendent ce soir. Dans le noir, démarrer une saison, c'est jamais facile. Mais voilà, on a trouvé nos marques au shakedown, donc on espère qu'on aura le même feeling ce soir.
Bon, je sais que Hyundai compte beaucoup sur Thierry Neuville pour animer l'équipe, pour faire en sorte que cette équipe fasse des résultats, que cette année 2023 nous fasse oublier l'année 2022.
Ouais, c'est vrai que l'année 2022 a été beaucoup plus compliquée, mais bon, on est arrivé ici l'année passée avec une voiture qui n'était pas prête, qui est en plein développement, mais on a bien rattrapé le retard. Maintenant, il faut voir, voilà, si on a bien travaillé pendant la période hivernale, c'est ce qu'ils ont fait les autres, on va le découvrir maintenant, donc il est temps d'y aller.
Oui, j'ai l'impression que la Hyundai i20 WRC, ça y est, elle est au point. Ça y est, elle est merveilleusement, elle est pointue, ça y est. Elle est là et elle va faire du résultat, elle va donner des résultats.
Oui, écoutez, je me sens en tout cas très bien derrière son volant. Maintenant, c'est clair qu'une saison n'a jamais été facile et ça le sera encore cette année. Tout le monde donne de son meilleur et on est tous des professionnels, donc on ne laisse rien au hasard et ça fait que le championnat va être animé, ça va être très serré jusqu'au bout, mais j'espère d'être de la partie jusqu'à la fin.
Le leader de l'équipe Hyundai, Thierry Neuville, qui est un pilote complet, capable de s'adapter sur tous les terrains, qui est d'ailleurs avec Ott Tanak et qui a 17 victoires avec Ott Tanak, qui sont les pilotes qui détiennent le plus grand nombre de victoires derrière Lube et Ogier. Thierry Neuville qu'il va falloir surveiller cette année, vous l'avez vu. Thierry est confiant.
Okay, well, as that door shuts, the flag will raise once again, and it is the start of the 2023 season for Thierry Neuville. Julian, this man is the most positive and probably the most determined, I think, in the field. He needs this championship win. He has been striving for this, and he's almost always been there, but just not quite.
Yeah, exactly. As you said there, there's just you can't fault his never say die attitude, never give up. You know,
is this his last year?
I don't think it's his last year, but I mean, we're running out of years, you know. Or is it his last year? No. Next year's his last year. He signed for 3 years with the new hybrid program. So
all right.
This is his next year is his last year. But no, I mean, when you can say he deserves a championship, there's a few. Elvin Evans lost a championship on the final day, and the second for an ultimate day of 2 championships, you know. So it's
forget last season, move on.
I think this season could just absolutely explode with excitement. I really do.
And it's all going to begin in a matter of minutes. Elvin Evans up on that start ramp. He'll be stepping out of his car. Let's have a listen to what he's got to say.
Vice-président sport de la FIA qui va donner le départ. Elfyn Evans et Scott Martin avec le Gallois, double vice-champion du monde derrière Ogier en 2020 et 2021, qui n'a pas connu sa meilleure saison en 2022 et qui est là pour se refaire. Elfyn Evans, quelques mots, some words about your race this year. You are what are you expecting for this competition, for this season?
Well, of course, you always set your goals high. You know, I mean, we didn't have the best season last year. Of course, we want much better this year. That's the target.
Oui, on va essayer effectivement de faire mieux. There is great drivers this year. You are in a very wonderful car, I think, and you can have some domination about this race this year here in Rallye Monte Carlo.
Domination is not so easy now. You know, it's ultra competitive. A lot of fast riders in all the cars are fast, so it's going to be tight up there, close competition. You know, it makes it exciting when we go forward.
Oui, effectivement, il y a de nombreux pilotes qui sont très rapides et évidemment, c'est la crainte
All right, well, there we go. Elfyn Evans heading out into the darkness. Now, we just said it. Elfyn Evans last year, this is a season to forget last year, but it is not to be forgotten that 2 years in a row prior, he was on the edge of a championship win. So this man has a lot for us to see this season, a lot in store if it clicks.
Yeah, I mean, if, and it's like the smallest, biggest word, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
In Monte, he was up with the Sebs when he made that mistake and went off. In Sweden, he was battling Robin Perra for the lead on the final morning, went off. Then, you know, he had 4-5 second places in the rallies. And then in New Zealand, he had that little half spin, which ended up being a roll. Japan, the smallest slide, clipping the smallest curb, took the tyre off the rim. There were so many massive what-ifs for the... And the problem he had was the strongest person in the rally was his teammate in the same car, and you were like battling at the same with the same machinery, you know. And Robin Perra won every time that Elfyn was second, or there was
made a mistake.
and there was none of that mixing up and mixing around, spreading the points around. Calais just took them all.
He did. A clean sweep, let's say. All right, Toyota with Taka now stepping out on to that start round. Indeed, let's have a listen.
Britannique qui est à nos côtés avec Toyota, la GR Rallye, Yaris Ralliant. On a évidemment quelques mots pour vous présenter ce pilote. Chaque saison, you are in progress. Every season, you progress. And you stay laughing, you stay with... Il reste avec son sourire. Il a été... You were the most regular pilot last season. What are you expecting for this season, 2023?
Yeah, for sure, like, gonna be more challenges last year, so yeah, really a lot of things to improve on. Yeah, I'm really excited to start new season, so I'm quite confident to do a good job for this year as well.
There is a lot of... you have a lot of pressure on your shoulder.
A bit, yes, but it's not bad pressure, it's good pressure always, so good to have some pressure. Yeah, it's kind of true.
Il y a un petit peu de pression parce que la confiance lui est accordée. Vous avez compris que Takamoto Katsuta, qui va courir le rallye Monte Carlo, sera également le remplaçant d'un certain Ogier lorsqu'il ne sera pas là. C'est-à-dire qu'il récupère la double responsabilité, évidemment, de réaliser quelques bons résultats. Des résultats avec, regardez, ce pilote qui a toujours le sourire. Toujours le sourire. Thank you. And have a nice race. Voilà, avec une très belle course que nous pouvons
Taka back in the car now, and his 2023 campaign begins right here and now. It's a different vibe for him in the Toyota team this year. As Julian said earlier, he'll be sharing that drive. Now, Julian, just explain all of that, because he will be with us for the full season.
Yeah, he will be with us for the full season. Like on this rally, he's scoring points for the next generation team. So the development program that Toyota build with Japanese drivers, that's the car and the team he's in. Sometimes he's got older parts on the car, etc. So he's got an older spec rear spoiler on this car compared to the other three cars. But come Sweden, he will be driving the car that Ogier's driving this weekend. So he becomes a part of the factory team. So his positioning could score manufacturer's points for the overall team.
Things just get a little bit more serious.
Things just become a bit more serious. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the car's the car, you know what I mean? But yeah, he just gets a little bit more responsibility.
Yeah.
he might have to play the game somewhere along the line, as in, look, right, Taka, we've lost a car here. We need you to finish in 4th place. Just hold back. Don't battle for that 3rd place, for example.
Okay.
You might have to have some considered performances sometimes.
So that's the dynamics of Toyota, but this man, this weekend is challenging for the win yet again. 8 times already. The fans are there for this man for sure. Let's hear from him.
Mon petit doigt me dit, Sébastien, que les programmes partiels, ça va bien.
En tout cas, ça me convient bien à l'heure actuelle. Donc, c'est une chance de pouvoir toujours prendre part à des super épreuves comme le Monte Carlo avec un top team derrière moi. Et j'en profite effectivement. Ça me permet d'avoir un rythme de vie qui me va bien à l'heure actuelle. Plus de temps pour moi à la maison avec ma famille. Mais malgré tout, des belles courses au programme durant l'année pour se faire plaisir.
Ouais, on fait presque partie, Sébastien Ogier, 39 ans. on fait presque partie des anciens. Quand on voit le champion du monde qui a 22 ans, ça fait quoi? On se dit que finalement, on a encore des cartes à jouer, on a encore des choses à prouver.
Ça dit que le temps passe vite, ça c'est sûr. Maintenant, bon, effectivement, on a trouvé l'année dernière qu'on était toujours capable de jouer aux avant-postes et c'est aussi pour ça qu'on est là, hein, parce qu'on peut se faire plaisir évidemment, mais pour se faire plaisir, il faut aller vite et puis l'équipe compte sur nous, donc on va tout faire pour ramener un bon résultat.
Il y a eu ce combat l'année dernière, il y a eu ce combat jusqu'au bout l'année dernière. Le champion du monde 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2020, 2021 qui nous fait le plaisir d'être sur le Monte Carlo. Ce sont des routes que vous connaissez par cœur.
Oui, on les connaît bien. L'année dernière, c'était déjà un petit peu dans la région. Pour être honnête, je suis un petit peu nostalgique des routes des Alpes, de mes Alpes natales ou aussi éventuellement de l'Ardèche. Je pense qu'elles manquent un petit peu au programme, mais allez, j'espère qu'elles seront de retour très prochainement.
Sébastien Ogier et Vincent Landais qui vont s'élancer. Merci en tout cas.
Smiles from what is deemed as the local man, of course, born in Gap, which is where our service park has been in the past. The fans here adore Sébastien Ogier. To be fair, the fans around the world adore Sébastien Ogier, but particularly here.
I mean, he's great. He loves it. Talking to him this morning in the shakedown remote service, and he just has that buzz about him, that smile about him of, yes, Rally Monte Carlo, come on, I want to do it. And, you know, he'll want to, when we were talking to him on Sunday about the season ahead, his partial program, he said, well, my events do debate and do depend on where we can be used best for a team strategy and where we can help the team here, where we can help the team there, and etc. He said, so my events are very fluid of what I will do and when I'll do.
Oh, okay, because I was going to ask
Apart from
you...
Monte Carlo, he said, because Monte Carlo was never in doubt. I was always coming here.
He's a master.
He says, but he says the rest of my season will ebb and flow depending on when I could be best utilised. But he says a similar programme, I don't know whether he meant in events or numbers, to what he did last year.
Elusive but interesting. All right, well, that is what Sébastien Ogier has in store for us. Right now, it is Danny Sordo in that Hyundai. Interesting what you said. I like what you said, Julian. It is interesting. That team is particularly strong now.
Yeah. Well, you think how many podiums Sordo's got. You think how many podiums Breen's got. Sordo's actually got rally wins. And then you look at Ogier, 8 world titles. Does that outnumber what the two drivers at Hyundai have against Taka's 2 podiums? It's a real kind of interesting balance.
Definitely. Let's hear from him now.
Sur le Rallye Monte Carlo, Danny Sordo Castillo et Candino Carrera à ses côtés. Danny, bienvenue à Monaco.
Merci.
Ça va Danny Sordo? Pourquoi 2 ans d'absence? Pourquoi 2 ans sans nous offrir votre sourire, votre conduite, vos résultats?
Bon, l'important c'est qu'on a encore là, donc on va essayer de profiter de faire un bon spectacle, profiter des rallyes Monte Carlo toutes les années et essayer de trouver un bon position.
Alors, on se souvient en 2021, 5e sur le Rallye Monte Carlo, 6e du championnat du monde, en 2022, 8e du championnat du monde, et puis présent ici chez Hyundai depuis le retour en WRC de la marque en 2014, 21e saison consécutive, une régularité qui fait valeur d'exemple, Danny.
Oui, on va essayer de faire un peu meilleur que les dernières années ici à Monte Carlo. C'est clair que les dernières années, c'était un peu plus de gamme. Donc, c'est cool d'ici, les Suisses sont vraiment sympas. Donc, on va essayer de profiter au maximum.
Allez, profitez au maximum et faites-vous plaisir et faites-nous plaisir sur la Hyundai i20. À bientôt, à tout à l'heure. À tout à l'heure.
Now, sometimes people put us to shame, don't they? Me and Julian, our language, it's actually your language grasp is probably a lot better than mine, but Danny Sordo there speaking in French as well. Amazing grasp of many languages.
Yes, I mean, Danny's great, and obviously French comes from when he spent so much time at Citroën, so that's where that comes from. But yeah, I keep saying it, and it was quite funny when we were doing all these interviews with them earlier in the week. Danny came in, sat down and everything, and he says, do you think I look good? I said, yeah, Danny. He says, great to see you back. I said, you know what, Danny, if I had a rally team, I'd have you in it. And he goes, yeah, but you've said that to all the drivers that have come in before.
No, Julian or Danny Sordo, you mean that.
With Danny Sordo, I do mean that.
Oh, I can't believe I'm going to ask you this. Your 3 drivers, Julian Porter has a team. It's about to launch. Who are your drivers?
I'll try and give you an... Oh, God. Well, you got to go... For me, I'd sort of like as my consistent driver. Rovanperä, because he's so young and so talented. That is quite simple. He's got many, many, many years ahead of him.
Who are you picking in the middle? Because I know who I'd put.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm going to have to
You've got a little moment to think while
Esa-Pekka
Lappi in his Hyundai steps
You could
out.
have Esa-Pekka Lappi because of the fun factor you would have.
Oh, I like it. I like what you did. All right, let's hear how he's feeling.
Au départ, 73 départs, une victoire, 10 podiums. Il s'élance sur Hyundai i20N Rallye avec une victoire en WRC en 2017. C'était sur le rallye de Finlande, on s'en souvient. Une saison chez Toyota et une arrivée. Your arrival this year at the Hyundai team, what does it mean?
Well, it means that I've changed the team. It's a new team for me, new car as well.
But you will do this year all the competition in this Hyundai. You have programmed every race.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. We will do the full championship, which is really nice. Yeah.
Vous êtes attendu au tournant, évidemment. Vous allez faire la totalité du championnat cette année, c'est garanti. Vous êtes attendu, évidemment, pour parfaire la voiture, pour perfectionner la voiture. You have to perfect this car, to work on this car. How do you feel this car tonight? Comment est-ce que vous sentez la voiture ce soir?
I think we are ready. I mean, the car feels exactly how it finished last year, to be honest. They had a really, the Hyundai team had a really strong second half of the season last year. So yeah, I can feel it inside of the car as well. I just need to understand a bit more things, and I'm sure we can be in a good pace as well.
Il sent évidemment la voiture qui est paraît-il, et on va le voir et on va le savoir très très vite, on va le savoir dès ce soir évidemment.
Okay, well, Esa-Pekka Lappi, it's the 5th different time he sets up for a season. There's positives and negatives to take from that, but I think if you're looking at it, he's well-rounded, he's well-experienced, he's probably not got any nerves about joining a new team, he's ready to roll.
Yeah, I mean, in the interviews that we've done with him, he said the car's very simple to drive. And the thing he brought up twice in 2 interviews was the vision. He's got much more vision in the Hyundai than he had in the Toyota. Oh. You can see so much more. He feels so much more comfortable in the Hyundai from that side of it, which I think is great. But I mean, yeah, the joke in that interview we showed with him earlier on about don't know whether you're so good everyone wants you or so bad everyone wants you out the door. It was just genuinely because we'd been joking with Yanni earlier on in the day about different overalls and everything.
But there's very few people that you could actually have that good solid joke with.
Yeah. And I knew we could get away with that question. And it was just kind of, it's a true thing. Is it because he's so, you know, Tanak leaves the team on Sunday night. He announces he's leaving the team on Spain Sunday night. Monday, the next morning, Hyundai are on the phone to Esa-Pekka Lappi.
It's a logical choice. All right.
That's how he's in man in demand.
Pierre-Louis Lube stepping up on that start ramp. He's a bit of a home favourite here as well. Let's hear from him now.
Avec Pierre-Louis Lube et Nicolas Gilzoul, l'ex-copilote de Thierry Neuville, vainqueur en 2021. Alors là, véritablement, je dis que la pression doit être immense parce que ça y est, bienvenue Pierre-Louis Loubet dans la grande cour, dans la cour des grands.
Oui, après bien sûr la pression elle est tout le temps là, mais on va essayer vraiment de prendre du plaisir pour revivre Monte Carlo dans ces conditions. Donc très content, on va faire de notre mieux, c'est d'être intelligent. On connaît notre objectif pour ce Monte Carlo, on nous a dit qu'il fallait pour vous, donc voilà, il ne faut pas se mettre une trop de pression.
C'est une première hein, au volant d'une Ford Puma Rallye 1.
There we go, Pierre-Louis Lube and Nicolas Gilsoul. Julian, it is good to have him back, but that experience that he has is, do you know what, Pierre-Louis Lube is going to have the season of his life, hopefully. The experience and what he's going to take away from this year with the people around him could set him up for the future.
Yeah, and I like Pierre because he's quite calm, he's quite relaxed. You know, he's saying this is going to be a really difficult weekend for him because he's only been here twice before, or is this his second time? Strange, he's never been into most of the stages on this rally. But then you look at it, and he's targeting Sardinia, Portugal, Greece, these kind of events where he can try and really show his talent and his speed. The rest of it will be a big learning curve, but learning from Oit Tanak would be great. Nicolas Gilles-Sol, multiple winner, been in with Thierry Neuville for years. So, as you say, he's going to be a massive sponge this year and just take in as much as he possibly can.
So I'd say that Thierry probably one of the most ferocious competitors in terms of determination to win. Nicolas will have picked up on that. And Oit Tanak, I'd say, the most ferocious man to want to win. So there's going to be a lot of grit and learning that he's going to pick up, Pierre, from this season. And if it all goes to plan, that could be a very solid driver of the future.
Yeah, and I think what he needs to do, and he knows this as well as I do, is on the events where he's got limited experience, here, Sweden, places like that, get to the finish.
Yeah.
Get to the finish and get those points, get that mileage. There's no point in being fast into stage 1 and 2 and binning it in stage 3 and not getting that mileage. Even if you're going to finish 7th or 8th, take the mileage and get yourself fully up to speed for the events where you know that you can be strong.
Well, that's something Taka's had to learn along the way, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, Taka in his, I believe, not in his contract, but in his kind of performance clauses and things like that, for last year, should have been those 2 podiums he had to get, which he did.
Jordan Serradidis, the third car for M Sport this weekend, onto that start ramp.
Jordan Serradidis et Frédéric Piclotte. Bonjour Jordan. Bonsoir, comment ça va?
Très bien.
Et alors moi, Jordan, depuis tout à l'heure, je l'observe. Pour la séance de dédicace, il avait la pêche, il était en pleine forme. Là, je vous vois avec un merveilleux sourire. J'ai l'impression qu'il y a quelque chose dans cette voiture. Il y a de l'ambiance dans cette voiture.
Ouais, j'espère qu'il y aura aussi de l'ambiance sur la première spéciale, hein, et sur la deuxième aussi. Non, ça se passe très bien, on est content d'être là, on va s'amuser, et tout se passe bien pour l'instant.
Oui, alors là, on joue la sécurité, on joue la sagesse, on joue l'expérience avec Jordan Serradidis et Frédéric Piclotte à bord de la Ford Puma Rallye 1. Comment elle est cette voiture? Comment elle est cette auto qui est le fer de lance aujourd'hui de M-Sport?
Il y a 500 chevaux, c'est une voiture qui est quand même très sûre, elle n'est pas vicieuse, et je pense que c'est une très bonne voiture pour des conditions comme on a ici, où il va faire plutôt sec. Et je pense qu'on va essayer de faire un bon Monte Carlo.
Bon, on vous avait pas revu sur le rallye Monte Carlo depuis 2017, mais pourquoi autant d'absence?
En fait, comme je ne suis pas tout jeune, je ne voyais plus très bien, maintenant j'ai des nouvelles lunettes et je vois bien de nuit, donc...
Right, well, the season has begun. Are you ready for what is in store? Col de Torini is the first of your stages. Our start ramp ceremony will continue, and we will be seeing plenty of WRC2 cars. Your eyes now with Jordan Serradidis. He is the third car this weekend with M Sport. He's got a challenge afoot for sure, but of course a fan favourite, as you heard as well. Let's talk, Julian, now about WRC2 as they will begin to come up onto that start ramp. This category for 2023 is so hot. To be part of this is one of the places to be, for sure.
It's a massive thing. It's a support category, and it's built, to be fair. Everyone's going on about it this year, but if we're brutally honest,
it's been building.
It's been building for 3 or 4 years.
Andreas Mikkelsen's put a lot into that build.
Exactly, and potentially it just wasn't capitalised on and wasn't like maximised. But this year, everyone seems to. It's exploded, and you know.
Listen, because we've had Hayden Paddon in there before, haven't we?
Formo Greensmith and Solberg, all Rally 1 competitors from last year, coming into the category. You've got new young blood. Munster's now in with M Sport. Eric Sizer's got himself a Skoda and moved up into the category. There's plenty of people. Rossell's back.
Payari's in there as well.
Yeah, Payari. I mean, there's some like big kind of like.
Here we go.
Big challenges, you know?
Yeah.
20 plus cars this weekend.
Yeah, it's a big field, all right, with the first of which, as Julian was saying, the first of which, that step back, Adrian Formo, is driving in WRC2, and he'll be a local favourite as well, so let's hear how he's feeling.
WRC2. Alors vous savez que cette année, Rallye Monte Carlo, cette année, le niveau WRC2 est très très élevé. Entre autres parce que l'équipage Fourmeau et Coria également est engagé sur ce rallye dans cette catégorie. 37 départs en WRC pour Adrien Fourmeau. Adrien, c'est l'antichambre du WRC1 là. Vous touchez au WRC1, ça veut dire que vous allez les pousser ceux qui sont devant.
Écoutez, je vais déjà essayer de revenir en Rallye 1 surtout. Honnêtement, la compétition ici en Rallye 2 va être très très élevée cette année. Et c'est aussi ce qu'on attend. Voilà, l'objectif ici, c'est de bien jouer, de marquer des points parce que le début du championnat c'est le plus important. Je pense que ça va être pas mal.
Bon, comment elle est cette Ford Fiesta? La Ford Fiesta MK2, elle se comporte comment? Parce que là...
There we go. Okay, so Adrian Fourmeau moving back from our top category to our support category. Julian, what does that mean for a driver? I think this is a really great place to be because there's plenty of movement back up to the top once you've set your goals here.
Yeah, and we were talking to Adrian yesterday, and he was saying it's going to take me a little bit of a while to adapt. The cars are quick for what they've got, and that is less aerodynamics, less brakes, and things like that. So the cars are on the limit and on the edge. He's just got to get used to, like, he can't take some corners as quick as what he was in the Rally 1 car because it has more aero. And remember, he was in a 17-spec World Rally car, which had the most aero we've ever had. So, you know, it's in theory, some people would say, is it a step down? I think because of the level of competition...
You say sideways.
I would say it's a step sideways now because... Yeah. It's not as competitive as in speed and performance, but the level of competitiveness is phenomenal.
The names, the drivers.
So you could kind of say it's a shift sideways now, rather than actually dropping down. Even despite you are dropping down into another category. But
if there was a time to do it, if you were going to drop down, why not drop down with a bunch and into one of the hottest categories?
We can. I've got thoughts of potentially stuff about. We need a place for these guys and girls to go, though, as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's only 9-10 World Rally 1 cars, so we need to think of something moving forward where these people can go, because we can't just keep having what we thought were up-and-coming superstars that Fourmeau was 2 years ago, to now having to come back after having only had a season in the top line because it didn't quite work out. There needs to be a stepping stone potentially between there and there to give them. So I don't know, but Johan
Russell stepping up. You know, you spoke to him earlier. Julian's been around the service park, haven't you?
Yeah, Russell, really quick driver, French at home.
The only Citroen we've got here.
No, Lefebvre is here as well, who's very quick as well.
Yeah.
Sur Citroën C3 RC2, au départ ici, champion de France des rallyes juniors en 2014. Vous avez, Johan, réussi à vous imposer dès votre première saison en rallye. C'est quoi le truc? C'est quoi l'astuce?
Oui, je pense qu'il n'y en a pas. C'est déjà être bien entouré, avoir une bonne équipe. On repart sur les mêmes bases que l'année dernière, donc voilà, on connaît un petit peu tout. Je me sens bien, c'est mon 6e Monte Carlo, donc je pense qu'il faut quand même profiter avant de se lancer dans les spéciales.
Ouais, je regardais le meilleur résultat, 11e du Rallye Monte Carlo en 2021, avec le premier de la classe WRC 3 en 2021, et puis l'année dernière, 6e de classe RC2. On vous souhaite, Johan Russell et Arnaud Dunant, on vous souhaite évidemment une belle course, une belle soirée. On commence de nuit. On commence sur le Turini.
Very exciting times for WRC2. Johan Russell there, just giving a nod to our cameras up in Casino Square. Now, while the festivities continue up in Casino Square, we have got some studio guests for you as well. So the fans enjoying the cars crossing over that start ramp. And we will be hearing from Trenzio Testoni in a couple of cars' time, but we are going to see a few more of those WRC2 cars going over the start ramp. Julian, tell me a bit about Johan. What kind of driver is he? What can we expect from this weekend?
He's a very, very good driver. I mean, kind of ruled the roost in WRC3 a couple of years ago, won in Portugal last year in WRC2. A really, really strong driver. I'm interested to see how he'll go this year again with another year's experience. Stefan Lefebvre, potentially, for me, could be the favourite this weekend. Was leading this category last year until he went off the road. Lefebvre will probably only do 1 or 2 rounds. Okay. He could be a bit of a spoiler, taking points out of people and then not completing his season.
Let's hear from him now.
Un certain Tirabassi, un certain Ogier. Ça veut dire que là, tous les regards sont tournés vers Stéphane Lefebvre. C'était pour le premier WRC en 2015 sur le rallye Monte Carlo.
Et oui, ça remonte déjà à 2015 avec c'est un rallye qui aime beaucoup, on a tout le temps été performant ici, donc on va essayer de faire encore le pays ici.
Ouais, en 2015, c'était le 12e rallye Monte Carlo, 12e classement du rallye Monte Carlo, premier WRC 2, ça veut dire que là aussi, on a un peu de pression.
Non, avec l'expérience, maintenant, on sait que la pression, c'est qu'on 5e et 6e Monte Carlo, donc voilà, maintenant on sait comment ça se passe, on sait que c'est un rallye très long et très sélectif, donc il faut rouler avec la tête et la pression, ça va.
Bon, Stéphane.
All right, well, as I just said to Julian, to answer my question immediately, another Citroen up onto that start ramp. What kind, as you said, he's going to be a spoiler. What can we see from him this weekend?
I see speed. I mean, Stefan Lefebvre, he's been at the top level. He was a factory Citroen driver when we had the Citroen 3 World Rally car, you know. So very, very competent driver. Again, something that just didn't quite work out for him at that top level, but moved in. And if he could put a season campaign together, he would be a real contender. But what you can do in WRC2 is you can enter rallies, but you don't have to do them all, you know?
How many do you have to do?
I think it's, now you go get me on this.
6?
I think you can do 7 and you take your best 6 scores.
Okay.
I might be wrong on that, and I probably am, because I'm not very good at numbers.
No, I don't think you are, because I was asking Chris Ingram earlier, so I think you're right on that.
So you get drivers who will nominate events that, like, so here's Oliver Solberg. He's on the entry list, he's in the rally, he's on the start ramp. He will not take one single point from this weekend, because he's not scoring points this weekend. He's not elected to take any points. His point scoring rounds start in Sweden.
But
and that's
he's
where
doing
sometimes
every round, though, isn't he?
He's doing every round to get the experience. That's where you can sometimes get a little bit confused.
Okay, well, a slightly different car for him, a different experience, but we know he's determined out there. We're taking the most out of his Monte Carlo WRC2 run.
Oliver Solberg qui va s'élancer. What are your expectations? What do you expect tonight?
Well, tonight's going to be a long and very difficult night for sure. You know, starting in the dark in Monte Carlo is never easy, but conditions look okay, so we will try to have a clean and good pace, and then we'll see tomorrow when it's daylight. But yeah, we just start nice, and it's a new car and a new season, so we'll do our best.
Allez, vous allez faire le maximum, vous allez faire le meilleur. Ce que vous allez pouvoir faire, évidemment, c'est vous allez faire au mieux ce soir. Belle nuit, vous l'avez dit, avec des routes sèches. Par contre, très très froid, évidemment, sur le parcours. Have a nice race and see you in Monaco at WRC on Sunday. On espère évidemment cette année qu'Oliver Solberg terminera.
Oliver Solberg's 2023 Monte Carlo begins right here and right now. Plenty of experience to be gained this weekend in what is a very, very difficult rally. Well, there's 18 stages to come your way, plenty of kilometres, 40 of which will be played out in front of your eyes tonight. But as Oliver Solberg sees that flag wave in front of him, his season begins right here. Well, we just mentioned those stages, so let's see completely what is in store for this weekend here in Monte Carlo.
Into another exciting season which gets underway with one of the sport's most famous stages, the notorious Col de Torini, run no fewer than 3 times this year, starting and ending the event, which features 18 special stages run over 325 competitive kilometres. Underway Thursday evening with a 15-kilometre run up and over the Col, a daunting challenge, especially when there's heavy snow, which is expected this year. Stage 1, run in darkness, just to add to the jeopardy. It's the first of 2 nighttime tests before they burst into the daylight of Friday. 6 stages in the form of 2 loops of 3. Adding to the fun here, no midday service, just a tyre fitting zone after the first pass through Briançonnet-Entrevaux, the Monte power stage in recent years. Saturday, more classic Monte mountain tracks. 6 stages, once again, run twice either side of a tyre fitting zone. Ogier-Entrevaux is the longest test of the day, approaching 22 kilometres, and the final test of each loop. make it through to Sunday, there's still the best part of 70 kilometres to negotiate in the form of a double run through Luceram-Lantosk and then back to the Col de Torini. The second pass is the end of Rally Power Stage, a fitting end to what promises to be another thrilling instalment of the marvellous Monte.
18 grueling stages to come your way over the weekend. Well, as if by magic, Terenzio Testoni, what a way to welcome you. Terenzio Testoni joins us for the first time of 2023. Now, tyre choices are always a big talking point in Monte Carlo. We've got the tyre choices out already, but what can we expect in terms of conditions for this weekend and tonight in particular?
Actually, the conditions this year, they are quite not normally to be Monte Carlo. Stage, they are nearly full dry, actually full dry. Temperature is typically from Monte Carlo, but they are full dry, so it's very easy choice. Everybody took a full slick, a soft, and then so it's different Monte Carlo. Not like last year or 2 years ago, but I remember in 2005 was exactly the same, was full dry, and then the first tire choice was hard compound, so you can imagine. So this year is not like in 2005, but it's something which is not very normal to be Monte Carlo like this.
Okay, well, talk to me about the allocation, because me and Julian saw the tyre choice and the Toyotas have taken a super soft. Is that in order to preserve the softs for the weekend?
I can imagine because the conditions are full dry, and then the first choice is a super soft, so they have already plenty, and then they want to save some soft for sure for the last day, because the weather forecast looks quite good, so not rain, not snow, so can be even a bit higher temperature, so should be for a soft compound.
Okay.
Yeah, EP was telling us earlier on today at Shakedown that there's not enough soft tyres to do the whole rally on, so you're going to have to use a super soft somewhere. I thought tonight would have been a good time, because it's probably the coldest it's going to be over the weekend tonight, because it's so late.
Yeah, but I think tonight everybody want to be fast.
Yeah, heading out on the Col de Torini, it's the time to impress.
Stage,
it's all about ego, yeah?
I think everybody want to know where they are, and then after they can decide what to do tomorrow.
Okay, well, you boys have just talked about allocation. Talk to me about the allocation. How many softs have they got this weekend, and how many super softs have they got this weekend? Or are you looking at me thinking, why do you ask me these questions?
The question is, the super soft always has been the first choice in Monte Carlo, and this is why they have more super soft than soft. And then, but the condition this year is more for soft for sure. If I need to decide a tire choice last week, I can put a soft first choice and super soft second choice. So for me, they have enough soft to do all the rally. For sure, they need to be quite clever to manage, and then for sure they must use the second hand soft from today, also tomorrow, and after tomorrow.
Terenzio, I was getting very, very excited on Monday. Went out on recce and we were seeing these recce videos come back, snow falling.
Monday was completely different.
Monday, yeah. I'm so disappointed. I mean, in the commentary box, when the heat is on, it's beautiful for us with this jeopardy. But what are you hearing? Your team have been out today doing today's stages. What are you hearing generally, weather-wise, that we're going to come in? Are we in for a dry, simple Monte, like Esa Pekalapi calls it?
I have a team which is they do a recce, and then they've been on the stage on Monday, and then they come to me and say, Terenzio, we are a really good condition. Monte Carlo, typically damp, wet, some snow, and then I said, come on. For sure today we lost the day. We need to go back to the stage on Wednesday. And then they went back. He said, Terenzio, you're right, now it's full dry. I said, damn.
Okay, well,
but Monday I said, I was really happy, but I said, we need to wait a couple of days because the weather forecast looks quite good. And then it was a completely different condition.
Is it what is the weather forecast you're seeing for the next few days?
That's what I was going to ask.
It looks quite good. Not any snow coming. Okay. What we need to see, maybe some humidity from the night. That can be a possibility, and then you can have a stage in the morning, some damp, and then maybe that can be a good opportunity to use a super soft.
Okay, well, Trenzio, I know that you're going to be keeping us updated with exactly what's going on with the tyres throughout the weekend and who's taken what. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. But we will see you again tomorrow for more tyre information.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
I just felt there's a... We've moved back a bit and I
There's
just felt
some
the bridge
stairs.
there. No, I just
There's
felt
a
the
little
bridge. I thought I
entrance
was gonna-
here that you can stand in,
I
look.
just thought, are we falling off into the harbour?
There's a kiwi space here.
Can you imagine? Okay, right. We have got plenty in store tonight, but what is coming up? It is 2 stages. It is Col de Torini coming up very shortly indeed at 8 p.m. It's local time. We are slightly different to the UK, but set your clocks according to around the world. And then 9 o'clock is stage 2. We will be in the media zone as well at 10:15. It is a late night for us. All right, well, technically the 2023 season has now begun here in Monte Carlo. We said it before, game on, Julian.
I can't wait. 45 minutes, come on. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be epic. All right, well, the world lost another legend, sadly, a week or so back. Ken Block passed away. Now, he was a pioneer in his field, and he made such a big impact in the world of rallying, of course, bringing new fans from all around the world. He was much loved in all of our hearts. Now, as we said, he sadly passed away, and here is our tribute to the man himself.
Tightens and left 3 minus, leave 3 minus, into right 4, into left 4, and right 5 minus 1. Into crest, into right 5 plus.